Hey, it's Kevin Lawton with the New Warehouse Podcast here at MODEX 2022. I am in the booth and I am joined by Jake Heldenberg of Vanderlande, and we're going to talk about Vanderlande, what it is that they do, some of the solutions they offer, and just how the show's been going in general for them. So, Jake, welcome to the booth. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and first and foremost, thanks for having me. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, definitely. Happy to have you on and happy to hear more about Vanderlande. I mean, we haven't had you guys on the podcast before, so this is a little fresh. So why don't you give us a little overview of what it is you guys do?
So Vanderlande is it's a large company. Obviously, we're based out of the Netherlands, but we also have a large presence here in North America. We have a big headquarters in the Atlanta area, so in Kennesaw, if you're familiar with that area, we'll be up there. And we're continuously expanding here in North America. So we have a new office building that was just built that we're moving into next month. We're really excited about that, obviously. But in particular, we function in three, we'll call it key markets, which are parcel, airports, and warehouse. I'm from the warehouse division. And so my role within the company is I'm a senior manager for basically solutions. So I work with a lot of different customers on the warehousing side, and general merchandise and fashion and retail as well, especially food, to come up with a solution that fits them, fits their business. So,
Okay. All right, great. And obviously, we're the New Warehouse Podcast, so we got the right guy. We got the warehouse guy, right?
Yeah.
So very good. So it's good that you're here, and you're going to talk to us about, some of the solutions you offer. And, I guess before we get into some of that stuff, let's talk a little bit about, from the warehousing perspective. Obviously, you're dealing with a lot of different customers or potential customers who are having challenges in the warehouse, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't be looking for solutions, right? So talk to us, I guess, over the last 2 years, obviously we've seen a lot of changing, right, in warehousing and things of that nature. What are some of the biggest things that are standing out to you that customers are coming to you saying, I have a problem with this, what can we do?
So, everyone likes to talk about labor, right? 5 years ago, people came to us, labor's a problem, but was it really? It was like we just don't want to be so reliant on labor, right? Now it's a problem. Everyone we talk to, you hear the show, before the show, I'm sure after the show, it's going to be the same. Like, hey, we cannot hire enough people, and we're offering, let's say, certain warehouses, depending on what market you're in, $15, $20, $25, $30 an hour, and they still can't get people in.
Right.
Or the flip side is, for our e-com customers, the challenge is the ramp-up period. You might have 500 people in your warehouse throughout 11 months of the year, and then you have that 1 month when I go from 500 to 2,000 people in the warehouse. That's a huge challenge. You have to start hiring, months in advance to ramp up like that. You've got to start training them the month before you get them into the warehouse. So now the business case is shifting heavily towards high automation, when before it was more of a mix, right? It was like we're going to have a little bit of manual for the peak. We're going to have a little bit of automation over here for my day-to-day volume kind of thing. Now it's a huge shift. So that's really been the key development. There's a couple of other challenges that, especially in the e-com world, that they're facing. The SLAs are always shifting, right? I mean, there's a big company out there who's trying to push that dynamic to, I'm going to get it to you within an hour kind of thing, right?
Yeah. They make a lot of our lives pretty hard.
Yeah, exactly, right? But that's innovation in its finest form, right? Push the metric forward always. So we love that. I mean, that's the challenge that I hope that my team and that I live for is, how do we solution, how do we innovate, and how do we make each one of our customers happier so that their customers can be happier?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting to hear those challenges. And, obviously the labor is a huge thing. And as we look around here, at MODEX now, I think, a lot of people are trying to solve that problem through automation and robotics and different things of that nature. So at Vanderlande, what are you guys focusing on, and what type of solutions are you providing to these customers that are having these challenges?
So like I said, we focus on a couple different segments within warehousing. So depending on what segment the customer is playing in, will kind of drive the solution type. We've given them names. So Fast Pick is a solution that we've built for item picking.
Right.
We find it works well with customers, large retailers who do break pack picking. So they're picking items and shipping them to the store.
Yeah.
It works well there, but specifically it's more for e-com, right? There's a lot of item picking. It's units per order is being driven down as well. So you're seeing 1.1, 1.2 units per order going out. So it really plays well in that environment. And we leverage our Adapto, which is it's a unique shuttle for us and for the market as we see it. So it's a roaming shuttle. So we do direct connect to the lift. Allows for us to sequence the product directly to the pick station. We do one-to-one picking. And the key for that, one of the things we didn't mention is, so even if you hire the labor, is there's heavy turnover.
Yeah.
We're seeing 40-50% turnover rates now. So the training time has to be vastly improved. So when you bring someone on, you need them to get to work right away now.
Absolutely.
So that one-to-one picking, we've gotten a lot of feedback from the customers. It's really appreciated because you can be trained in 5 minutes now because you just got to pick the right quantity, right?
Yeah, that's great.
We'll deliver the SKU, just get it right in the quantity, right? So. And the other piece to that is the intent is to future-proof it, right? So item picking robots will be a heavy part of the future. With that in mind, if you walk around the show, you'll see a lot of those around here. And you see a lot of it is one-to-one picking for them as well. They're not really doing a 2-to-4, the old way of picking. So we tried to stay ahead on that. So that's typically what we see on the e-com front. For retail case pick, we have something called store pick. I mean, kind of makes sense, right? Store pick.
Store pick. That's a good name.
So with that, it is a case pick, and it can be fully automated. It's auto decal robots. You have manual decal, auto palletizing robots, and then even AVs. So AGVs and AVs are picking up the pallets and moving them, marshaling them over to the shipping area, picking them up and receiving, etc. So the key for, of course, store pick is, again, that Adapto, the core shuttle, right? Because because it can roam, we do direct connect as well for the decal and for the palletizers, and everything's fully sequenced, and that comes with a software that we call load forming logic. What does that mean? It means that we can build the pallet in any way, shape, or form the customer wants, right? So if you have 150 stores, you need to deliver something that is store friendly, so aisle ready, right? You can do that, or you can do transportation friendly. You can build an 80 case tall pallet, and you fill a lot more void in your trailer. So we have to look at what the customer needs, but the software is supposed to be, in that sense, flexible to work with what the customer needs. And then for the fashion market, we see a lot of, you've probably seen 4 years ago, it was kind of like the trend to see pockets around here, right? Well, we have a solution called Air Pick, again, kind of self-explanatory. It's up in the air, right? Our marketing does a good job, right?
It's very straight to the point.
Exactly.
I like it,
So that's more for pockets, or fashion, I should say, those pockets, and garment on hanger as well. So if you have hanging clothes, it's all transported on the same line. But again, that's all based on like a batch pick, and because pockets are units order at the end of the day. So you have a batch pick, and it delivers the product directly to a packer. So whoever's packing out the goods. And it does all the sequencing for you, right? So those are the three, I'd say, the core solutions, and our brand of those solutions that we sell the most of and that we hear in the market.
Very interesting, and obviously you're hitting a lot of the different pillars there, distribution and fulfillment. So you're really accommodating the customer in many different ways and many different iterations of their business or the different channels that they may distribute to. So, with that being said, you guys also have a recent partnership, right, with RightHand Robotics, who we've had on the show a couple of times. Talked to Vince yesterday, actually, RightHand. So tell us a little bit about that partnership and how that kind of came about and what the benefit is for the end user.
Well, number one, really excited about it, right? So we've been looking at the item picking market for a long time with robots, and we've done a lot of investigation. We've done a lot of pilots as well with different technologies. And through those investigations, some of the things that we found with RightHand that we really appreciated was, indeed, I think a prime example is the finger technology, right? They use fingers, of course. There's a couple of wins with the fingers that we noticed in a lot of the testing that we did with them, and that's number one of the challenges is you get to those final 2 or 3 or 4 items in the tote, in the bin, right? What if they're askew or a little bit awkward and kind of weird to pick up from a typical, like the suction gripper?
Yeah.
What they can do and what they do with their software is they use the fingers to manipulate it, move it around to make it where it actually is grippable with the suction cup. And that is really beneficial because now you have more picks completed than not, right?
Yeah.
That's one piece. And the other piece is that, you have that transition from the bin to let's say the order carton or whatever it might be, the order tote.
Right.
That transition, if you just have suction, there's a risk that you lose that suction if you move too fast or the product rotates or jumbles a bit. So placement within the order carton is vitally important, and speed to that placement is important, right? The fingers allow them to grip and move quicker with less risk that product's going to move around on the suction. So those are two key highlights that we saw, and we thought those a bit different and like I said, a little bit innovative that we really appreciated that, and I think through our testing we found that it was a really good product.
Yeah. I mean, their gripper technology, I mean, I think is pretty incredible. If you just kind of, even if you go to their booth and you watch just the gripper going, it's a little mesmerizing, and it's hard to think about. It's interesting that you pointed out the fact that the fingers and manipulating to different points, because you think about even as a human, when you have something that's like just the same kind of case, I mean, you kind of move it around to a point where you can grip it, right? So
exactly.
That's pretty interesting. So it's great that you guys have been able to partner and kind of come together and really bring a very robust and great solution for item pick there. So as people are here at the show and coming by, and what have been some of like the reactions to these things?
Honestly, it's been excitement. I can say that more or less everyone I've spoken with is, number one, excited about the level of automation they're seeing at the show this year. I think it's pretty clear if you look around, you walk around, that the level of automation is increasing. We've obviously not had a real show, and we had MODEX in 2020, but it was not a...
it was like right before everything just shut down. Yeah,
exactly. But you're seeing that huge advancement in the past 2 years already since MODEX from 2 years ago. And so excitement, I think, is the key word from a lot of the people we're talking to.
Right.
They're also really, I guess they're excited to be out again, right? It's the culmination of everything, right? So, at the end of the day, I think the leads that we're generating from the show too, it seems like everyone is looking for automation. Before it was like, maybe I need a little bit of conveyor, or maybe I need a little bit of this or that. And I was like, no, I need shuttles, or I need I need these robots, I need pick stations. Everyone is absolutely, I think, inundated with not being able to get the product out to the door. And if you can't get your product to a customer, that's a lost customer potentially.
Right.
So that this automation is obviously going to alleviate a lot of the stress in the supply chain that you see right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there's been a lot of challenges, and obviously everybody like yourself is trying to address those challenges for the customers and bring things out. And it's really great to see how the industry is pushing forward in that regard. And it'd be even interesting to see how things evolve in next year too, when we hit Pro Matches. By that time, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of new stuff then too as well. So very great to talk to you here, Jake, and learn more about Vanderlande. And if people want to find out more information, how can they do that?
A number of ways. First and foremost, you probably can't spell our name correctly, so maybe try and type it in Google and see what comes up. If you get close enough, we'll be the first thing that pops up. But if you want to go to us directly, you can reach out to us. We have a website, vanderlande.com, right? You can go directly there, and there's a contact. Obviously, you can go through that channel. You can also reach out to me or any one of the sales managers within the group. Or if you're still at the trade show and you want to stop by, feel free to stop by in the next couple hours. We'll be there a little bit longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great. And we'll put all that information at theneurons.com as well.
Perfect.
So, Jake, thank you once again for coming by the booth, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you.